Okay, if you are liking this series that I'm putting out about all these different guns and kind of ranking them off a little critique sheet here, thank you, and please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, and if you could, become a member. Alright? In this video, we're going to discuss break action shotguns. Specifically is this Stoger Coach gun, 20-inch barrels, 12 gauge, with 3-inch chambers. You can break this down, and it's very inexpensive. I picked this up for less than 300 units. Okay. And also break action shotguns in general, be it single barreled, different gauges, okay, but not to be confused. See, this is why this is a strange topic, is because we have something like this, a hunting gun. And some of these break action guns, the higher quality ones, are not really suited for a defense purpose, more of a sporting, target shooting, or hunting, okay, and are extremely expensive as compared to, say, a pump shotgun. But the reason I'm going to bring this up, and especially the Coach gun, is because this gun was kind of specific. It falls into a category with cost and how it can be used. It does fit some of our criteria here, where this here would not. Okay, so let's start. So the Stoger also makes two guns, double defense, an over and under 12 gauge and a very similar model to this, side by side. The difference is where this has the two triggers, a more simpler mechanism. Both of those firearms have a single trigger, and they have a pick rail on the top of the rib and on the sides, so you can mount lights, that, and everything. They are tactical guns, and they are break action. Okay? So let's go with our critique. In the shit hits the fan, bug out, prepper category. Okay? The thing about the Stoger, the short guns, is they can be broken down fairly easily. Okay? You can make sure it's cocked. You can break the gun down fairly easily into two parts. Put your stock back on, and there you have, a compact firearm that'll fit in a knapsack, and you could go out and carry it with you. Okay, compact, man-portable, fantastic. That's a plus. It's 12 gauge 3-inch chamber. So it can handle a defensive round, buckshot, all that other stuff. But, and I'll go into it more now, but it's only 2 shots. It's slow to reload. A pump action shotgun would be better. So I'm going to give this, as far as a survivalist or a bug out gun, I'm going to have to give this about a 7. Okay. Now, home defense, I take that back. As a survival gun, and this and that, I'm going to give it a 6. Okay? Now we go into home defense. This particular gun, or any other little single break action gun, say you have an old gun, somebody in a family hunted rabbits that's in 410 or something. These guns are inexpensive. I think new ones now are a few $100s, okay? You can buy used ones probably for way less. Just a single break action shotgun. And even if you want to get handy, you could shorten up a long one and have a home riot gun of some sort. Plus, also, a break action shotgun, is not like a handgun, or in a lot of places where any type of assault style rifle or band rifles with magazines and this and that. These guns beat that, are readily available, and can be used in a home defense thing. Now, where it comes into home defense and where break action guns beat the pump guns and semi-automatic guns is when you talk about these mini shotgun shells. Now these here, what they are, is just a very short little miniature shell. And these will fit and function in a side-by-side gun. Alright? Because they drop right in there. They don't have to be fed into like a pump. There are very few pumps that'll function well with these. I think the Mossberg 500 is one. And you have to put a little plug in there, because what the issue is in a pump, this ain't long enough, like a 2 3/4, so the shell bounces around and will misfeed. So you need basically a spacer to use the gun with the shorter things in a pump. Or I think Mossberg did make a gun that specifically will work with these. But why are these important? The reason these shells are so important in home defense is you have this one in 12 gauge, which has number 1 buckshot and number 4 buckshot, a combination of pellets in this one, 7.5 birdshot, and you do have mini slugs. Inside an apartment, a house, or whatever, the number 7 will not penetrate walls or go, that terrible to where it can injure or kill someone on the other side of the wall. So if you use the birdshot, number 7 shot, at close range, it's pretty lethal. And also these little buckshot rounds, again, lethal inside of a room, but I doubt they'll go tearing through the side of your house. They don't have that much power. So, home defense scores a 10. Hunting, the little short barrel, in a pinch, in a survival mode, yeah, you can hunt with it. But you really, if you were hunting birds and that, you would want something along these lines. But that's a different category of gun. Okay. As general purpose shooting, okay, a lot of people use these Coach guns in cowboy action and some competition in shooting. Yes, it probably could be. As far as cowboy action shooting goes, that's going to be like a number 9, okay. Just general purpose blasting cans and stuff, number 7, it's something, you go out, you shoot it a bit, you practice with it, you have fun, that's about it. But not exactly a gun I'm going to go burn 200-300 rounds plinking with it. But it is used in competitions, different models of this, and this one can be used to shoot. So that's kind of another variable. Militia weapon. Well, guarding something in a defensive, it is a defensive gun. You would be better off, like in a shit hit the fan scenario, with a pump action or a good semi-automatic action 12 gauge. This is too slow to load, and it's usable, but it is not ideal. So again, in that type of situation, give it a 6. You'd be better off with a pump shotgun. Collector's item. It's a 2. This is a common gun. It's not a collector's item. It's a utility weapon, and it's reasonably priced because there's no frills, and that's the whole deal. So collector's value, none. Ammunition. this is going to score like a 10. A 12 gauge shotgun is very common. Okay, this has a 3-inch chamber. So it'll handle just about any type of 12 gauge loads. They're either going to be 2 3/4 or 3-inch. There are bigger ones and everything, but in general, no matter where you go, you could find 12 gauge shotgun shells. It's one of the cartridges that are extremely popular, and I mean, I doubt you'd go somewhere and they wouldn't have them in any place that sells ammunition. Okay. Also, like I stated before, the mini shells, they're expensive, but in a defensive mode in your house, these are the ticket. So, ammunition, price, and also shotgun shells were overproduced. It was a popular thing like 9s, and the price has come down, so it's more affordable to stock up now for your 12 gauges. So, ammunition's good. Reliability. Now, reliability on this particular gun is not that good. I'm going to have to rate it at about a 7. And the main complaint is the firing pins are soft, and I'll show you here in a minute what I'm talking about when I talk about accessories. There's a little plate inside the frame of the gun that you unscrew, and the firing pin and the spring are behind it. These are said to be soft, and the firing pins are soft, and they'll mushroom. And a lot of the guys that use these Stoger Coach guns for the cowboy shooting, where they're shooting a high volume of ammo. This is not a hunting use or something. These guys are shooting a lot. They're using it to compete. Have that problem. So that's about the only thing about it. And the quality, you know, you can get a nicer version, but this one here is very simple, very plain. I have had no trouble with it, but I've heard some people complain, so we're going to give it a 7 in terms of reliability. Parts, repair, and accessories. This is a kind of a common gun. You can find parts, and also there are people that make parts. And you'll look on the plate here. They make the little 3 holes around the firing pin holes for a wrench to unscrew this plate, and underneath would be the firing pins and a spring. Okay, there are companies that make stainless steel inserts and stainless steel firing pins, so that one problem that you can, or the one complaint that was there, can very easily and readily be replaced. Now, some people don't like the idea of buying a brand new gun and have to change out parts, but for peace of mind and everything, it's there. And I believe you can get spare parts for this fairly easily, numerous charms and that. And overall, this gun I got, and it was on sale. I think the retail on this is like 450 units, and I picked this up at a Black Friday sale in a big box store, and I ended up paying altogether $2.50, about that, with sales tax and everything. So this is an inexpensive gun. The one little problems with it can be easily fixed with a little bit of money. Didn't pay a lot for it. And it is a good home defense, just a gun that you can store if you're a prepper or something, or in a shit hits the fan scenario. There are better ones, but this can go right in the knapsack if it's something you need to bug out and get you somewhere where you have a cache and some better weapons. This is a must, and I purchased this just to test it, and it's staying with me for good. And the same goes with like single barrel guns. You can find them used very inexpensive. They're inexpensive. If you live in an area that has all kinds of firearms restrictions, a single barrel shotgun in 20 gauge or 410 or 12 gauge would make an excellent just general purpose home defense firearm. Okay, so they have a place in there. And they'll score a 10. They're more of a defensive weapon. And then plus the thing is, not only can you defend your home, you can go and hunt with it. Yeah. So that's my thought on the break action guns. And if you really want something, you go to Stoger and look at the double defense. But they run about 650 units retails, or you might catch them on a sale. And then you would have the option of having pick rails, you know, here and on the side and that, or underneath, to really turn it into a defensive weapon with some sort of an optic, lights, lasers, whatever you needed. So yes, there are versions of this that can be adapted more readily for the defensive role. Alright, thank you and stay tuned.